Lady Saxby.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker, and thank you to my right honourable friend from Houghton Price and Howden for this important debate. North Devon presents challenges consistent with many coastal and tourist destinations in delivering new housing alongside retaining our existing housing for local residents. The planning system is not designed for rurality. North Devon is so remote with a lack of planners, builders and materials, we build at just 18% affordable units due to viability concerns. The local plan has mostly delivered the targeted number of houses, yet still we have nothing like the number of affordable homes we need. Everything takes an eternity, and far too often the affordable element is cut out of developments. Brownfield sites, particularly derelict buildings, lie empty for years, if not decades, while stuck in planning disputes, often to retain late-listed facades that are not valuable enough to warrant historic investment schemes, yet render them unviable. Fortunately, the 5-year land supply is now back intact, but that has taken 3 years, and numerous developments wave through on beautiful greenfields due to this situation. Overlay this with the rapid switching by landlords post the Osborne tax reforms that came in during the pandemic from long-term rentals to short-term holiday lets. We have lost 67% of our long-term rentals post-pandemic, meaning moving to North Devon for work or being able to afford to buy at all, as one of the fastest rising house price regions in the country, is just not viable, leaving us with a housing crisis, a word I don't use lightly. Hopefully with some light on the horizon, with accommodation being the next phase of development on our hospital site, as health and social care are the sectors worst impacted by the current housing crisis, rapidly followed by the other emergency services in our schools. Solutions are hard to come by, but to really tackle the situation in North Devon, which indeed has some unique challenges, being highly designated and prized for its remote beauty, building on endless green fields is not popular, or in my mind, in the least bit desirable. We need a more strategic and better resourced planning system for all of Devon. Our small district councils almost have a rotating door policy of planners moving from one council to another for a better position, or are a final stop before retirement. And I don't blame them, there's nowhere nicer to retire to. But we need an extended and enhanced planning team that proactively wants to deal with the derelict buildings scattered across my constituency. Empty hotels in Ilfracombe, a care home in Instow, the former lace factory in the Oliver buildings in Barnstaple, alongside the redevelopment of the old leisure centre. Numerous empty properties scattered around. Yet in the past week alone, my inbox has seen planning applications above shops in Barnstaple town centre turned down as it may flood in 84 years' time. Locally, the council could reverse the planning restrictions they have placed on properties that, when built, were only allowed to be holiday homes, where owners would now prefer to move to permanent residential, surely to be encouraged. But no, an endless series of hurdles, from owners being told they have to sell them or install all sorts of extra measures just so a barn can be converted for a child to live in now that child is an adult. But they can convert to a holiday let with no problems at all. It is no wonder developers struggle to build in North Devon. Even when they do, it's easier to build for holiday lets than for permanent residences, as borne out across endless farms. In my mind, for small villages, community land trusts need to be simplified and learnings from rural communities more widely shared. Again, delays in planning make even pre-application work months and months before any response is forthcoming. And when we do build, we need to ensure that these properties are available to local families who want to live and work in North Devon. Far too many properties are just sold as holiday lets. We have to take some responsibility as a community if we want to remain a community and not become some sort of cross between a holiday park and a nursing home with no staff to service either. An additional town. I mean, I don't mind an additional town, but when I say town, I'm not thinking Milton Keynes. I'm more the size of my third biggest town, 4,000 to 5,000 residents, within commuting distance of Exeter, adjacent to the Link Road, may be an option. But unless we can sort our strategic planning so there is public transport and proper facilities, such as health, education, and even water, as we're on a hosepipe ban already, and a road network that is fit for purpose, we really are struggling to deliver the houses our community so desperately needs. First and foremost, for me, would be to use the properties we have more effectively. I have campaigned relentlessly since being elected to this place to tackle the exponential increase in holiday lets in North Devon. Yes, we love our tourists and warmly welcome folk from all over the world, but our housing market is out of kilter. There are now not enough homes to enable people to live and work in our vital tourism economy. We need to expedite plans for registers of holiday lets, to introduce planning changes for people to move from long-term to short-term rentals, reverse the Osborne tax changes, or at the very least ensure an even tax playing field between long-term and short-term rentals, and ensure there is not a discrepancy between schemes such as EPC designed to protect tenants, but in old rural properties is increasing the flood to a proper tidal wave of landlords exiting the long-term rental market. If the housing stock we had were utilised more of the time, we might not need to build so much. On the close of less than 30 houses I rent on, one has been derelict for over 15 years, almost a half a second homes, often left empty for 3/4 of the year or more. These are 2-3 beds up, 2 down homes. The latest to be valued at £575,000 is out of the reach of most locals. Is there no way some of these properties empty for so much of the year can be made available to our invaluable public sector workers? We cannot allow our coastal communities to become ghost towns for much of the year, and I hope more will be done to utilise the buildings already standing more effectively and improve our strategic planning to tackle and rebalance our housing market. Yeah.